Thanks for joining us today. My name is Kalita Hicks, Head of International Sales here at LatamReady, and I'm happy to discuss with you today how you can crush tax challenges in Latin America using NetSuite and with LatamReady supporting you. So you might know by now that taxes work a little bit differently in Latin America than, say, the US or Europe. So today we'll be introducing 4 challenges and how we can support you there. So the first challenge is with the calculations of taxes and withholding tax. Okay, Latin America's tax regulations, their processes are very different from those of the US or Europe, and tax regulations frequently change. We currently support more than 21 countries in Latin America. And as I've said, things work a little bit differently. In the case of the US, for example, the IRS really trusts that companies are reporting accurate tax information each year. But in Latin America, those government tax authorities have a different view. They usually require that companies report tax information monthly, not just on an annual basis. A second challenge that we often see in Latin America is regarding the issuance of electronic documents for sales. You may know by now that in Latin America, in most of Latin America, it is mandatory to electronically invoice customers. So our localization is able to support various e-invoicing methods depending on businesses' needs. Okay, we're able to support one-by-one invoicing, batch invoicing, massive invoicing, and trigger invoicing for e-commerce. So what you're seeing here is an example of the information flow between when your company will issue the invoice, that movement in NetSuite, and finally how that information gets to each government tax authority. So taking a closer look at electronic invoicing, as I mentioned, there are several ways that e-invoicing can be tailored to each business. Certainly, LatamReady works with many types of customers throughout Latin America, from small startups to large corporations, and we're able to support with each of these invoicing types. So first, you have the standard one-by-one invoicing, which basically the invoice is generated and sent manually. One by one. And we see this quite often used by startups, fintechs, you name it. We also support batch invoicing. In this process, it follows the standard NetSuite invoicing process. Here, we're able to group up to 200 documents per batch in order to have those invoices issued. We also have our mass electronic invoicing process. And this is special because we're able to invoice thousands of documents with one single click. And we have customers that are invoicing tens of thousands of documents each month, and they use our massive invoicing module in order to support the issuance of those documents. And finally, with electronic invoicing, we also have our trigger option. And in this case, the electronic invoice is automatically generated and it's sent one by one by our customers' billing software. So we're able to support all types of invoicing types for all different types of companies. So another challenge that we often see with companies expanding into Latin America is massive electronic payments to vendors. So in this case, we are able to support NetSuite's electronic bill payments module, which allows customers to handle large volumes of payments to suppliers, employees, you name it. LatamReady currently works with more than 40 banks in the region to support electronic payments to vendors. And we work with all of the major names that you already know. So a fourth challenge that we normally see in Latin America is with the generation of mandatory monthly legal reports. Again, this goes to show just how differently things work in Latin America as opposed to the United States or Europe. In this case, particularly, we're taking a look at Peru. This is a country that requires a monthly reporting, and there are some additional annual reports that are required to be issued as well. Certainly, LatamReady is able to customize and develop any type of legal reporting that you may need for your operations in Latin America. Thank you so much for your time. I'd like to know if there are any questions about the challenges of taxes in Latin America and how you can overcome them.